Are you feeling overwhelmed by life's challenges? Do your reactions to external events often lead to stress and unhappiness? If so, this video on 8 anti-stoic habits to remove from your life now is just for you. In this video, we'll explore the habits that are holding you back from achieving the peace of mind and tranquility that Stoicism promises. We'll discuss habits like overreacting to external events, constant complaining and fearing failure, and how you can replace them with Stoic principles. By watching this video, you'll gain a deeper understanding of how to apply Stoicism in your daily life, ultimately leading to greater resilience, serenity, and fulfillment. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned till the end. Remember, the path to a Stoic life is a journey, and every step counts. Stay Stoic, my friends. Habit number 1. Overreacting to external events. Imagine this scenario. You're running late for an important meeting, and as luck would have it, you get stuck in traffic. Your heart starts racing, frustration sets in, and you find yourself yelling at other drivers out of sheer annoyance. This is a classic example of overreacting to an external event, a habit that Stoics encourage us to remove from our lives. The Stoics believe that our peace of mind and happiness should not be dependent on external circumstances. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, wrote, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This idea forms the foundation of this Stoic principle. When we overreact to external events, we allow ourselves to be controlled by circumstances beyond our control. We give away our power and become victims of our own emotions. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, which is our own thoughts, judgments, and action. So, how can we overcome the habit of overreacting? Stoicism offers us several valuable insights. 1. Acceptance. Stoics encourage us to accept the reality of situations, even if they are unfavorable. We must acknowledge that some things are simply beyond our control. In the example above, getting angry at the traffic won't make it disappear. Instead, accept the situation, take a deep breath, and focus on finding a solution. 2. Perspective. Stoics remind us to zoom out and consider the bigger picture. Is getting angry over a traffic jam worth sacrificing your peace of mind? Probably not. Remind yourself that there are more important things in life, and by keeping a broader perspective, you can maintain a sense of calm. 3. Emotional detachments. Stoicism teaches us to detach ourselves from external events and not let them dictate our emotions. By cultivating emotional resilience, we can respond to challenges with composure and reason rather than impulsivity and frustration. Practice observing your emotions without getting swept away by them, like a calm observer watching waves in the ocean. 4. Focus on the controllable. Instead of fixating on the external event itself, shift your attention to what you can control, which is your response to the event. Ask yourself, what can I do about this situation? By focusing on your actions and choices, you regain a sense of agency and reduce the impact of external events on your emotional well-being. By removing the habit of overreacting to external events, you will experience a profound shift in how you navigate life's challenges. Rather than being swept away by the tides of circumstance, you will become the captain of your own ship, steering it with wisdom, reason, and resilience. So, my friends, as you continue on your Stoic journey, remember to stay vigilant against the habit of overreacting to external events. Practice acceptance, maintain perspective, cultivate emotional detachment, and focus on what you can control. By doing so, you'll find greater peace of mind, improved relationships, and a more fulfilling life. Keep watching, stay Stoic, and let's explore the remaining 7 anti-Stoic habits together. Habit number 2 on our list of anti-Stoic habits to remove from your life is constant complaining. Complaints are like a broken record that plays on repeat, draining our energy and poisoning our mindset. When we constantly complain, we focus on what's wrong rather than what's right, and we become trapped in a cycle of negativity. Think about it. How often do you catch yourself complaining about things that don't go your way? Maybe it's the traffic on your way to work, the long queue at the grocery store, or the weather not being to your liking. While it's natural to feel frustrated or disappointed in such situations, constantly complaining about them only perpetuates a victim mentality and robs us of our peace of mind. Stoicism teaches us to shift our perspective and focus on what we can control. Our response to these situations. Complaining about external events is a futile exercise because we have no power to change them. Instead, Stoics suggest accepting these events as part of the natural order of things and directing our energy towards what we can control, our thoughts, attitudes, and action. When we complain, we give away our power to external circumstances. We become passive victims of life's challenges, rather than active participants in shaping our own destiny. Stoics urge us to reclaim that power by taking responsibility for our reaction. By reframing our complaints into opportunities for growth, we can transform them into catalysts for personal development. For instance, let's imagine you're stuck in traffic on your way to an important meeting. Instead of complaining about the situation, you can choose to use that time to listen to an educational podcast or practice mindfulness exercises. By doing so, you're making the most out of an otherwise frustrating situation, turning it into a chance for self-improvement. Constant complaining not only affects our mindset but also impacts the way we interact with others. Have you ever noticed how people tend to distance themselves from chronic complainers? It's because constant negativity can be exhausting and draining to be around. Stoics, on the other hand, strive to cultivate positive relationships by focusing on gratitude and appreciation rather than complaining. So, how can we break free from the habit of constant complaining? The first step is to cultivate awareness. Start paying attention to your thoughts and words, noticing when you're tempted to complain. Once you become aware of this pattern, you can consciously choose to redirect your energy towards more constructive and positive thoughts. Practice gratitude as a powerful antidote to complaining. Instead of dwelling on what's wrong, shift your focus to what's going well in your life. Keep a gratitude journal and write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. This simple practice can help rewire your brain to seek out the positive aspects of life, reducing the tendency to complain. Additionally, surround yourself with positive influences. Engage in conversations that uplift and inspire you. Seek out friends and mentors who embody a stoic mindset and learn from their wisdom. By immersing yourself in a supportive environment, you'll find it easier to break free from the habit of complaining. In conclusion, constant complaining is an anti-stoic habit that drains our energy and hinders our personal growth. By choosing to shift our focus from what's wrong to what's in our control, practicing gratitude and surrounding ourselves with positive influences, we can break free from this habit and cultivate a more stoic mindset. Remember, every complaint is an opportunity for growth, so let's embrace the stoic principle of acceptance and take responsibility for our own reactions. Stay stoic, my friends, and watch as your life transforms for the better. Habit number 3 on our list of anti-stoic habits to remove from your life is relying on external validation. This is a habit that many of us fall victim to, seeking constant approval and validation from others to feel worthy and confident. However, according to Stoic philosophy, relying on external validation is detrimental to our well-being and goes against the principles of self-sufficiency and inner strength. When we rely on external validation, we give others the power to dictate our self-worth and happiness. We become dependent on their opinions, approval, and recognition to feel good about ourselves. This not only puts us in a vulnerable position, but also creates a never-ending cycle of seeking validation from others, which can lead to anxiety, insecurity, and a constant need for external validation. Stoicism teaches us that our worth comes from within, rooted in our character and virtues rather than the opinions of others. Epictetus, one of the prominent Stoic philosophers, emphasized the importance of focusing on our internal values and actions rather than seeking validation from external sources. He said, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. In other words, Instead of seeking validation by talking about our virtues, we should live in alignment with them. So, how can we break free from the habit of relying on external validation? The first step is to cultivate self-awareness and recognize when we are seeking approval from others. Pay attention to your thoughts and emotions when you find yourself seeking validation. Are you constantly seeking reassurance for your actions? Are you overly concerned about what others think about you? Recognizing these patterns is crucial in overcoming this habit. Next, it's essential to shift our focus inward and develop a strong sense of self. This involves identifying our values, strengths, and passions. When we have a clear understanding of who we are and what we stand for, external validation becomes less important. We start to prioritize our own judgment and live in alignment with our values, regardless of what others may think. Building self-confidence is another vital aspect of breaking free from the habit of seeking validation. Instead of relying on others for validation, we should learn to appreciate and recognize our own accomplishments. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small they may seem, and acknowledge your growth and progress. Stoicism reminds us that true fulfillment comes from internal sources, not external praise. It's also essential to surround ourselves with supportive and like-minded individuals who value us for who we are. Seek out relationships and communities that encourage personal growth and provide constructive feedback. When we are surrounded by people who appreciate and respect us, the need for external validation diminishes. Lastly, practicing gratitude and self-acceptance are powerful tools in overcoming the habit of seeking validation. By focusing on what we already have and being grateful for it, we shift our attention away from external validation and towards a sense of contentment within ourselves. Accepting ourselves, flaws and all, allows us to embrace our uniqueness and be less reliant on external opinions for validation. In conclusion, habit number 3, relying on external validation, is an anti-stoic habit that hinders our personal growth and happiness. By recognizing this habit, shifting our focus inward, building self-confidence, surrounding ourselves with supportive individuals, and practicing gratitude and self-acceptance, we can break free from the cycle of seeking validation and find true fulfillment within ourselves. Remember, Stoicism teaches us that our worth and happiness come from living in accordance with our own values, not from the opinions of others. Stay stoic, my friends, and embrace your inner strength. Habit 4, fearing failure. Fear of failure is a deeply ingrained habit that can hold us back from pursuing our goals and dreams. It stems from a fear of judgment, disappointment, and the unknown. However, according to Stoic philosophy, fearing failure is counterproductive and goes against the principles of living a virtuous life. Let's delve into why this habit should be removed from our lives and how it aligns with Stoic teaching. In understanding failure. Failure is a natural part of life. It's an inevitable outcome when we step out of our comfort zones and take risks. The Stoics recognize this and believe that failure should not be feared, but rather embraced as an opportunity for growth and learning. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This means that the fear of failure often creates more suffering than the actual failure itself. The Stoic perspective on failure. Stoics believe that our worth as individuals is not determined by external achievements or outcomes, but by our inner character and virtue. They emphasize the importance of focusing on what is within our control, such as our thoughts, attitudes, and actions. Therefore, if we fear failure and allow it to dictate our decisions, we are giving external events power over our happiness and well-being. The growth mindset. Embracing failure requires cultivating a growth mindset. Instead of viewing failure as a reflection of our abilities or self-worth, Stoicism encourages us to see it as an opportunity for self-improvement. Rather than being discouraged by setbacks, we should approach them with curiosity, resilience, and a willingness to learn. By adopting this mindset, we can transform failure into a stepping stone towards success. The Stoic practice. To overcome the fear of failure, Stoicism offers practical techniques and perspectives. One such practice is negative visualization, which involves imagining worst-case scenarios and reflecting on our ability to handle them. By mentally preparing ourselves for failure, we reduce our fear of it, allowing us to approach challenges with greater composure and confidence. Stoics also encourage us to shift our focus from external outcomes to the process itself. Instead of fixating on the end result, we should concentrate on giving our best effort, being virtuous, and acting in alignment with our values. This shift in perspective allows us to detach our self-worth from external achievements, reducing the fear of failure. The impact on your life. Overcoming the fear of failure can have a profound impact on our lives. It liberates us from the shackles of self-doubt and hesitation, empowering us to pursue our passions, take calculated risks, and embrace new opportunities. By removing this habit, we open ourselves up to growth, resilience, and the potential for extraordinary achievements. The conclusion. The fear of failure is a habit that limits our potential and keeps us from living a fulfilling life. By adopting the Stoic perspective on failure, we can transform our relationship with it and embrace it as an opportunity for growth. Remember, failure does not define us, but our response to it does. So, let go of the fear, embrace the unknown, and embark on a journey of self-discovery. Hit that subscribe button to join us on this transformative path. Stay stoic, my friends. Habit number 5 from the list is living in the past or future. This is a common habit that many of us fall into, often without even realizing it. We tend to dwell on past mistakes or worry incessantly about future events, which can lead to anxiety, stress, and a lack of presence in the present moment. However, according to Stoic philosophy, this habit is detrimental to our well-being and goes against the principles of living a fulfilling life. Living in the past is often associated with regret, guilt, or resentment. We may constantly replay past events in our minds, wishing we had made different choices or holding on to grudges. Stoicism teaches us that the past is beyond our control and cannot be changed. What we can control, though, is our response to the past. By practicing acceptance and forgiveness, we can free ourselves from the burdens of regret and resentment. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, said, "It is not he who reviles or strikes you who insults you, but your opinion that these things are insulting." In other words, it is our perception and reaction to past events that ultimately shape our experience. On the other hand, living in the future is often associated with worry, anxiety, and fear. We may constantly project ourselves into hypothetical scenarios, anticipating the worst possible outcomes. Stoicism teaches us to focus on the present moment, as it is the only moment we truly have control over. By cultivating mindfulness and practicing gratitude for what we have right now, we can alleviate unnecessary stress and anxiety about the future. As Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." So, how does breaking the habit of living in the past or future impact our lives? By practicing Stoic principles, we learn to appreciate the present moment and find contentment in what is rather than what was or what might be. We become more resilient in the face of adversity, as we understand that worrying about the future does not change the outcome. We become more present in our relationships as we learn to truly listen and engage with others. We become more aware of the beauty and opportunities that surround us, as we are no longer preoccupied with regret or anxiety. Breaking the habit of living in the past or future is not easy, as it requires conscious effort and practice. However, by incorporating Stoic principles into our daily lives, we can gradually shift our mindset and experience the transformative effects. So, my friends, let's embrace the present moment, let go of the past, and release our worries about the future. Stay stoic and remember that true peace and fulfillment can be found in the here and now. Habit number 6 from our list of anti-Stoic habits is being driven by material possessions. In our modern consumerist society, it's easy to fall into the trap of believing that acquiring more things will bring us happiness and fulfillment. However, Stoicism challenges this notion and encourages us to focus on what truly matters: our character and virtues. The Stoic philosophers believe that true happiness comes from cultivating virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. They saw material possessions as external and fleeting, unable to provide lasting satisfaction or contentment. Instead, Stoics emphasize the importance of internal wealth, the virtues that one can develop and carry with them throughout their lives. When we are driven by material possessions, we become attached to them, seeking validation and identity through what we own. This attachment can lead to a cycle of desire, acquisition, and dissatisfaction, as our happiness becomes contingent on external factors that are beyond our control. Stoicism teaches us to detach ourselves from this materialistic mindset and find contentment in the present moment, regardless of our external circumstances. By shifting our focus from accumulating possessions to developing our virtues, we free ourselves from the burden of constantly chasing after the next shiny object. So, how can we remove this anti-Stoic habit from our lives? It starts with a shift in mindset and priorities. Instead of measuring our worth by what we own, we can start valuing our integrity, compassion, and wisdom. We can practice gratitude for the things we already have, recognizing that they are not what define us. In practical terms, this means being mindful of our consumption habits. It involves questioning our motives behind purchases and distinguishing between genuine needs and mere desires. It means resisting the urge to compare ourselves to others based on material possessions and finding joy and simplicity in minimalism. Removing the habit of being driven by material possessions can have profound impacts on our lives. It liberates us from the constant pursuit of more, allowing us to find contentment in what we have and who we are. It frees up our time, energy, and resources to focus on personal growth, relationships, and experiences that truly enrich our lives. Furthermore, by prioritizing virtues over material wealth, we become more resilient in the face of adversity. When our happiness is not tied to external circumstances, we can navigate challenges with greater equanimity and grace. We learn to find solace in our own character and the values we uphold, rather than relying on fleeting external validation. Ultimately, removing the habit of being driven by material possessions aligns with the core teachings of Stoicism. To focus on what is within our control, to cultivate our own character and virtues, and to find contentment and peace of mind regardless of external circumstances. So, let us embrace this Stoic principle. Let go of the obsession with material possessions, and instead invest our time and energy in nurturing our virtues and living a life of meaning and purpose. Stay Stoic, my friends, and may you find true wealth in the richness of your own character. Habit number 7 from the list of anti-Stoic habits to remove from your life now is not taking responsibility for your actions. This habit is a common stumbling block that prevents many individuals from living a Stoic life and experiencing true personal growth and fulfillment. When we fail to take responsibility for our actions, we essentially relinquish control over our lives. Instead of recognizing that we have the power to shape our own destinies, we blame external factors for our misfortunes or shortcomings. This habit not only hinders our personal development but also undermines the core principles of Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us that we have control over our own thoughts, emotions, and actions. By taking responsibility for our choices and behaviors, we align ourselves with this fundamental principle. When we acknowledge our role in the outcomes of our lives, we empower ourselves to make positive changes and learn from our mistakes. One of the key Stoic concepts related to taking responsibility is the idea of the dichotomy of control. Stoics believe that there are things within our control, our thoughts, attitudes, and actions, and things outside our control, external events, other people's actions. By focusing on what we can control and accepting what we cannot, we can navigate life with greater resilience and inner tranquility. Taking responsibility for our actions also means recognizing that we are responsible for the consequences they may bring. If we make a mistake or harm others through our actions, it is essential to own up to it and take steps to rectify the situation. By doing so, we demonstrate integrity and honor, qualities highly valued by Stoics. Moreover, not taking responsibility often leads to a victim mentality, where we see ourselves as passive recipients of circumstances. This mentality robs us of our agency and breeds resentment, frustration, and a sense of powerlessness. Stoicism invites us to shift our mindset from victimhood to empowerment, reminding us that we always have a choice in how we respond to life's challenges. To overcome this habit, it is crucial to practice self-reflection and introspection. Take a step back and examine your actions and their consequences honestly. Ask yourself if there are areas where you could have done better or made different choices. By engaging in this process, you cultivate self-awareness and develop the ability to make more intentional decisions in the future. Another helpful practice is to develop a growth mindset, which involves embracing failures and setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth. Instead of avoiding responsibility for mistakes, view them as valuable lessons that contribute to your personal development. Embrace the Stoic notion that failure is not something to fear, but rather an essential part of the journey towards wisdom and virtue. By taking responsibility for your actions, you reclaim control over your life and become an active participant in your own growth and well-being. This shift in mindset will have profound impacts on your relationships, career, and overall happiness. You will develop a stronger sense of integrity, resilience, and self-mastery. In conclusion, habit number 7, not taking responsibility for your actions, is a significant hindrance to living a Stoic life. By embracing this principle, you empower yourself to shape your own destiny and cultivate a mindset of growth and resilience. So let us all commit to taking responsibility for our actions and embracing the transformative power of Stoicism. Stay stoic and keep watching till the end for more valuable insights. Let's dive into habit number 8 from the list. Avoiding difficult conversations or situations. Avoiding difficult conversations or situations is a common habit that many of us fall into. We shy away from confrontation, uncomfortable discussions, or challenging circumstances because they can be emotionally draining or unsettling. However, Stoicism teaches us that avoiding these situations only perpetuates our own suffering and prevents personal growth. In Stoicism, facing adversity head-on is seen as an opportunity for self-improvement and the path to developing resilience. Stoics believe that difficult conversations and situations are inevitable aspects of life, and by avoiding them, we deny ourselves valuable learning experiences. When we avoid difficult conversations, we often let problems fester and grow into larger issues. This can strain relationships, create misunderstandings, and hinder personal development. Stoicism encourages us to have the courage and wisdom to confront these challenges directly. One key aspect of Stoicism is recognizing that we cannot control how others will react or respond to us. We can only control our own actions, thoughts, and emotions. By embracing this understanding, we can approach difficult conversations with a calm and rational mindset. To effectively navigate difficult conversations, Stoic principles can guide us. Firstly, practicing self-awareness allows us to acknowledge our own emotions and biases before engaging in a conversation. This self-awareness helps us to approach the discussion without being overwhelmed by our own emotional reaction. Secondly, Stoicism emphasizes the importance of empathy and understanding. When engaging in difficult conversations, we should strive to listen actively and genuinely consider the perspective of the other person. By doing so, we can foster open dialogue and find common ground. Additionally, Stoicism teaches us to focus on finding solutions rather than dwelling on problems. Instead of getting caught up in blame or resentment, we can approach difficult conversations with a mindset of problem solving. This approach enables us to work collaboratively toward resolutions that benefit all parties involved. Facing difficult situations is another aspect of habit number 8. Stoics believe that avoiding challenging circumstances only leads to more stress and worry. Instead of running away from difficult situations, we should confront them with courage and resilience. By actively engaging with challenging situations, we learn to adapt, grow, and overcome obstacles. Stoicism teaches us to view these situations as opportunities for personal development and character building. It is through adversity that we learn our true strengths and capabilities. By removing the habit of avoiding difficult conversations and situations from our lives, we open ourselves up to personal growth, stronger relationships, and increased emotional resilience. Stoicism teaches us to embrace discomfort and confront challenges head-on, knowing that these experiences contribute to our overall well-being. As you embark on your Stoic journey, remember to stay committed and dedicated to implementing these principles in your life. Embrace difficult conversations and situations as opportunities for growth and self-improvement. By staying stoic and facing these challenges with courage and wisdom, you'll find yourself navigating through life's adversities with greater ease and finding true fulfillment along the way. So, my friends, let's commit to removing the habit of avoiding difficult conversations and situations from our lives. Embrace the discomfort, face the challenges, and watch as your personal growth and resilience